You know that image, right? The city hot dog cart. It's such a familiar sight, kind of comforting even. A quick, cheap lunch from a friendly vendor. I mean, it seems like the simplest business in the world. But what if I told you that entire picture is pretty much a facade? What if, behind all that steam and the sizzling onions, there is a hidden world of intense and, yeah, often brutal competition? Let's peel back the layers.
See, this is about way more than just selling hot dogs. It's a high-stakes game where people's livelihoods are on the line. And the rules, well, the rules aren't always what you think they are.
And that battle almost always kicks off with money. The conflict over the actual cost of doing business creates this just incredibly uneven playing field.
It really just comes down to this stark contrast. On one side, you've got the licensed operators, the ones who are playing by the book, paying for their permits, following health codes, paying taxes. And then on the other side, you've got these rogue carts that skip every single one of those costs. And that gives them a massive, totally unfair advantage right from the start.
And this isn't just theory, you can see the real-world impact right here. In a prime spot like San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf, these unlicensed carts can slash their prices and end up siphoning off a staggering 15% of all sales from the legal vendors. That's a huge chunk of their business.
I mean, you can just feel the frustration in this quote, right? It's not just about losing money, it's this deep sense of injustice, the feeling that you're playing in a rigged game. It basically turns the streets into a battleground for survival.
So when things get this heated over money, it's not long before it boils over into something, well, something a lot more dangerous. And look, this isn't just some hypothetical. In San Diego, right near the baseball stadium, out-of-town crews from LA literally moved in on local turf. They showed up in box trucks, ready to take over, and the whole dispute over who could sell where, it just erupted into this massive brawl. And yada ended with someone getting stabbed. It's just wild. It shows this almost primal, gang-like turf war that you would never think of when you hear hot dog cart. The fight for just a few square feet of sidewalk can become a literal, physical fight. But okay, the story doesn't end there. It's not just vendor versus vendor on the street. If we peel back another layer, things get even darker and a lot more organized. Okay, just look at this number, $20,000. That's the kind of debt a vendor who's often an immigrant might be stuck with right from the get-go. A lot of times it's tied to the fees for being smuggled into the country, and that debt makes them completely beholden to the person who paid it. And this is how the trap works. A vendor starts out deep in debt, which forces them to work for a boss who controls the cart. That boss then turns around and skims up to half of their daily earnings, making it pretty much impossible to ever escape. Let's be real. This isn't entrepreneurship. It's basically a modern form of indentured servitude. All right, so we've got the money battles and the physical fights, but there's a whole other front in this war, straight up psychological manipulation. These are the clever, really deceptive tricks they use to get an edge. Okay, check this out. In New York, for instance, some vendors are running this scam where they use predatory pricing. A local who knows the deal might pay $2 for a hot dog, but an unsuspecting tourist, they get charged $30 for the exact same thing. It's just pure deception, and it gives them a huge, totally unfair edge over the folks playing it straight. And if you think that's bad, it gets even more manipulative. This tactic reported in San Francisco is, honestly, it's just wild. Vendors have allegedly instructed children to start crying during confrontations with their rivals or with the authorities, all to gain sympathy. It's a dark kind of psychological warfare, literally weaponizing a child's tears. So when you piece all of this together, you start to see the real price of that simple hot dog you're buying on the street corner. It's so much more than just a couple of dollars. So let's just recap the brutal underbelly we've uncovered, right? You've got ruthless economic undercutting and shocking physical violence. You have a whole system of exploitation that traps workers in debt. And on top of all that, you have predatory price gouging and truly bizarre emotional manipulation. And all of this leaves us with one big final question. Is this kind of cutthroat competition just inevitable? Is this just how it is for a cash business on the sidewalk? Or is there a way to turn all this chaos into some kind of collaboration, to bring some fairness and safety to the streets? The answer for now is very much up for grabs.